Hey, everybody, it is Kathy, and I love to be selling. Come on in, sellers, come on in. We are going to talk international selling on eBay. So come in, come in, come in. I have Hannah Daragon with me from the United Kingdom, England, and we're going to be talking together all about selling internationally on eBay and different challenges that sellers are facing right now, both in the United States and in the United Kingdom. So just comment below, let me know that you can hear me. And while everybody's settling in, I'll just introduce myself. I'm Kathy Terrell, and I'm a top-rated seller on eBay. I'm selling on eBay for over 12 years here in the United States. I started very small, like a lot of sellers. For myself, it was selling personal possessions from around my home because I was home taking care of my mom, who wasn't well at the time. I do have extensive retail background, over 25 years of retail experience here in New York City. I was also on the QVC shopping channel for over 6 years. So after my mom passed, I did scale my business, and I took all the retail experience that I have and my QVC experience and really blend all that. I am trained as an eBay education specialist. So what I really focused in on is how to get your listings seen. No matter what category you're selling in, no matter what you're selling, you can have great inventory, but how can I craft a listing? How can I promote it on social media so that I get more views for my item? And then I'm bringing Hannah in, who's a wonderful seller from the United Kingdom. And Hannah, tell me, how did you get started selling on eBay in the United Kingdom?
Okay, how did I get started? Yes, so it was about 2004 when I first started. I have Crohn's disease, so it's like a bowel disease, and I was a teacher, and which I loved, and then I got this awful disease. I was 22 or 23, I think I was, and I thought, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? And there's a lot, like when you're unwell, there's a lot of like communities out there that you can join about kind of like being ill and being unhappy, and I just didn't really fit with any of them. And then I kind of found eBay, and yeah, and I loved it, and I loved selling stuff similar to you. I sold stuff around the house, and then I started selling my teaching resources on eBay, and then
That's great.
Yeah, so then I got well enough to go back to work, which was what I loved. So I did, and then in 2011 I was ill again. I was off work for a long period, and I had loads of bachelorette games on my computer because I was in that period of my life when everyone was getting married, and so every bachelorette party I used to go to, I used to take like a different game for a different group. And so then I was like sat there going, right, I'm off sick again. What am I going to do? I can't just sit around the house. I need to keep my brain going. So yeah, so I printed off a few of my bachelorette games and started selling them on eBay, and I loved it. Then I went back to work again, and then in 2015 the best thing in the world happened to me. I had my little boy, my son, and I went to go, thank you very much, and I went to go back to work, and my boss said, no, you can't come back to work because you've got a baby. So and I thought, I don't need your job, mate. I can sell on eBay. So I did.
Good for you. Good for you. And you've grown and grown and grown ever since. That's fantastic. So right now we're dealing with the COVID pandemic here in the United States and the United Kingdom and around the world. And here in the United States, we're pretty much on lockdown, which is we're encouraged not to go out unless it's essential, like banking, pick up a few groceries. I'm trying to think, trips to the pharmacy. And if you're an essential worker, if you're a doctor, if you're a nurse, if you're a fire person, something like that. Now, as a seller, we are allowed to go to the post office. Other people are too. So businesses are encouraged, what's considered an essential business. And as a seller, it is okay to go to the post office. Here in the United States, you can order pickup through the United States Postal System on their website. And I was just curious, Hannah, for you in England, what kind of, and that honestly, the biggest obstacle, well, there are a couple of obstacles going on right now for sellers, but I would say one of the biggest is the postal system, is getting, if you are still selling, if you've chosen not to put your store on vacation, and a lot of sellers are still selling, you know, because they want the income, they want the money, and some areas are not as tightly locked down as others, is to get the local pickup. The rural areas have a tough time with that. If you're in a more urban area, it's not such a problem. Not all areas do have pickup in the United States, but I would
Really?
say probably 70 to 80%. So how is the postal system going in the UK? Are you having any issues yet? Do you see issues from your seller friends?
Yeah. Okay. So our postal system is Royal Mail,
Okay.
and so we've got the Queen's head on all our stamps. So yeah, so that's what we have here. So Royal Mail is our main postal thing, but we do have like couriers like DHL and all those others as well. So
Okay.
an awful lot of people still use Royal Mail. I will say that the network is creaking. It's it's under stress. Certain things are going through. I would say that nearly everything is showing some delay, but you couldn't know that consistently. So I could be sending something down the road, and obviously that would get there a lot quicker than if I was sending it to Scotland. I'm deep in the southwest, so that would make a difference. In terms of collections, that's interesting because collections here for Royal Mail are brilliant. They are very, very good. So
Good.
I'm a business seller. But you have to have over a certain spend with
Okay.
Royal Mail to get business collections. And that is, I think it's 18,000 or something like that. It's something really, really big to get a business collection. And that's pounds, £18,000. So that'd be even more dollars. So you have to have an awful lot of postage spend with them to get collections. So not many business sellers do that much business with Royal Mail.
Okay.
And even ones that are big enough might not spend all of that money with Royal Mail. So if you spend it with lots of different couriers, you won't get enough spend. But the collections are still happening at the moment. But the majority of us do still troop up to the post office with our sacks or with our bags of whatever. And there's been a bit of a query around whether that's okay under social distancing. But the Prime Minister on Monday, when he announced the lockdown, was absolutely clear that he actually said online retail is encouraged. So absolutely no question that, yeah. But I want to pick up on something you said. As you said, sellers want to make the money. I also think buyers want to spend money.
Yes.
Actually, we are actually providing a mental health service in a way. Like, I love to shop, and I've got loads of time on my hands. And actually, I can't pop down the shops. I can't, and I was out doing my garden today. I'm like, my hose is broke. Oh, you don't call it a hose, you? I can't remember. The thing that water comes out of.
It is the hose.
It is. I thought that was tights. I thought that was what women put on their legs. So anyway, and I thought, I need a bit for my hose, and I'm like, where am I going to buy that? And imagine if every single seller goes, oh no, I'm just going to shut up shop. So we do have, some of us need to keep going. I'm not saying everyone, but some of us need to keep going here.
You know what? That's a great point. It is because people do. It's relaxing to shop. It's pleasurable. A lot of people, their incomes are not cut right now. They are on full pay while they're home. They're able to work from home. Some people are cut. There are a lot of people that are cut, but a lot of people that aren't cut. The other thing is being home is there's things that you need. Here in the United States, a lot of people with kids home, and they are, the different school programs and the different school systems have programs online, but parents are wanting to augment that. They're wanting to add to that. Also, you need clothes, you need shoes, you need things for your pets, you need things for your children, you need things for your home. I was talking.
Sorry, I was going to say also, there's people who are going, oh, maybe I'll learn the guitar. Maybe I'll learn to play chess. Maybe I'll do this. I'll learn to sew. I'll get my knitting out. I'll do all these things that I've never had time to do. All of my excuses are out the window. I have time. So that thing at the bottom of the pile, which didn't sell for years, this might sell now because people have got time.
It's a great tip. All the how-to. And not everybody streams. So how-to DVDs, how-to books, craft supplies, Hannah, I'm hearing are very popular for both grown-ups and for children. People forget, I mean, the kids' crafts, but also grown-up crafts.
I love a bit of craft.
Right. Super fun. And again, you may not have tried it before, but you know what? I'm going to try that knitting. I'm going to try that crochet. And like you said, it's great mentally because I have a girlfriend was talking about she's crocheting up a storm because for her, it's very relaxing. She's buying tons of yarn online. So
because you can't buy it anywhere else. That's
yes.
the other thing. Like the kind of thing that you might go, I can't sell that cheaper than insert name of big brand store. It's like, well, actually, they can't go there now.
Yeah.
You know, this is, you know, actually, this might be the moment to clear that you know, that pile of whatever. Or I'm not advocating profiteering. I'm not advocating going and putting stuff up at high prices. But I'm saying if you've got stuff and you're like, I just can't sell it at that margin, so it sells slower. You might find that it might be worth putting a bit of promoted listings on that to see if it might go suddenly, actually, or renewing the listing, go in, play with the item specifics a bit, you know, get the right words in there and you'll find, bam, you know?
It's a super idea. Or again, is let's say you sell games, and let's say you sell party games, which are more of a social event. I was thinking too for something like that. So if I'm selling something that's more of a social event, one thing I'm noticing here, Hannah, is people are doing online cocktail parties. They're having, but it's for their friends. So I did see one. Summers, from what I understand, did one on her page, like for the whole world. But I'm seeing people, you know, with their friends. So they're having, if they're used to meeting a friend at the pub, or they're used to meeting a friend, you know, for a cocktail on Friday.
I miss my friends.
Right? They're doing it online. And I thought, what a great thing, like the party games, just to remind people, you can do this online with your friends, which would be super fun. So to remind people of that, because I have a strong suspicion, I just sort of started thinking about this, with all the proms, with all the graduations, people are doing virtual birthday parties.
Yeah.
Because in some parts of the world, we're going to be locked down for more than just a week or two. My suspicion here in New York is, for us, it might be a month, just because there's a lot of things going on. People will do that. So they may not buy 50 party hats. They may not buy 50, you know, tutors, but they might have half a dozen. I don't think people are going to stop. I think they're going to figure out ways to do it virtually. And so just like you said, look around your home. Perhaps you have party accessories in your home because you have it left over from your child's birthday or your own birthday or a friend's birthday. Is that it can, like you said, you can't go to the local store to buy it. That kind of thing. Here in the US, board games are selling. So Monopoly, Parcheesi, Scrabble, you know, games that you might not have played for 10 or 15 years are selling. So again, you might have one because you hadn't been like, you know what, I never got rid of that. It's in the back of the closet. And like you said, Hannah, not to charge, you know, an outrageous amount of money, but you'll get it out of the house because your family is not using it, like that extra party supply. You get it to a family that would really love it right now. And you make a bit of money at the same time.
Yeah,
I think that's the great.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with everything you've said, and kind of look around and look with fresh eyes, kind of put on a different pair of glasses and be like, we're in a different place here that we never thought we'd be in. How would I describe that differently? How would I, you know, what words would I use? Because people are going to be searching differently. People are going to be looking for different things, you know? So how can you be clever, not just go, oh yeah, I'll just stick that up the same way I did the last one. You know, oh, let me just play with item specifics. Let me play with my title. Let me see what other things are going for, you know? And, you know, be smart and you'll be ahead.
I think that's a great, be smart, be ahead, rethink the item specifics and the titles. Again, stay at home game, family entertainment. You can even, you know, a family
school pack.
Yes, school pack, home school pack. And again, it's not just homeschoolers, everybody's homeschoolers right now. It, you know, children education, educational tool, adult hobby, adult learn to, how to, all this kind of thing. You know, again, it's that whole thing of think like a buyer. If I'm home and I want to learn a new skill, or I want to play with my child, or perhaps play this game with my child, what kind of, again, game for 4-year-old, game for toddlers, adult game, and not necessarily naughty games, you know, just something for teens and older, you know, that kind of thing, where just like you said, rather than just putting up the game like necessarily Monopoly, Parcheesi, I'm trying to think of something more that a child's game, even something like Twister. I know Twister can be fun. Because again, if there's 2 or 3 people home in your family, I was talking to one of my girlfriends, it's her husband, and they have 2 teenagers home. So, games for teenagers, games for family. And again, look around your home, because for some sellers, it is slow right now. So if you're having slow sales, look around your home with it. Really think, okay, people that are home, people that are homebound, people that would normally, like Hannah said, they'd be going to the store to buy this. Do I have things in my home that I don't need anymore, or I have more than enough, and that I could sell some and bring some income in for your eBay business?
I'm also quite a fan of a bundle. So you kind of like go, instead of going, oh, I want to sell, oh, my pencil hasn't sold, but my rubber has sold, but my pen hasn't, put the 3 together, homeschool pack. You've created your own product. No one else is selling that. You get high, basically, if you take the postage off each of those, add it together, you basically can actually increase your margin and actually charge a really fair price. So everyone's going, oh my goodness, that's a great product. That's a great price. You've all won in that situation. You've given a great experience to the buyer. You've given them exactly what they want. They've searched for a keyword that no one else is targeting. You've targeted it. You've made a product to fit it. Go.
Love it. That's fantastic. One thing I do want to say before we sign off is international shipping. If you're not doing it, and people might feel with COVID-19, they might be a little leery of it. My international sales are down. I usually do ship regularly, a lot to UK, a lot to Germany, a lot to Australia. So I've noticed it's down, but it isn't dead. So I do want to encourage people, don't forget that everybody's on lockdown, or put it this way, a lot of countries are on lockdown. So if you haven't tried shipping to the United Kingdom, or for us here in the United States, don't forget Germany, don't forget France, is because some nations are so strictly locked down right now, that you might have an item that they cannot even get in their country. So they might typically have bought it from Hannah, but because of the lockdown, like here, Hannah, right now, some warehouses are just out of items. You cannot get them because they import from China or whatever. Yeah, but you might have it, and it hasn't sold for you because of those sellers who perhaps are selling it for less money, or because they're in their own country, so it's less postage. But they really want that item, whatever it is, the shirt, the blouse, the shoes, the game. So all of a sudden they're willing to pay the $20 postage, the 30 or 40. Sometimes the postage is like, phew. But if somebody really wants it, they will pay it. And the distribution, at least here in the United States, has really changed. There's warehouses that are not shipping. There are wholesale sources that are not available. So I really encourage people now I shipped to Spain the other day, and I was really surprised. I was like, Spain? But whatever it is it was a men's shirt. And I went, you know what? Somebody wants a new shirt. Yeah. This is the style they want. The shipping isn't that crazy because shirts aren't that heavy. And I went, something like your games, because they're not super heavy. It's like, you know what? I just need a fun game. The postage isn't that much. And because, like you said, they have the money, they're shopping, and they want to sell. Have you been shipping overseas at all out of UK? Have you noticed any? Is it the same?
I ship. The thing is that most UK businesses ship into Europe, but my games are all English language. So my main overseas markets would be the US or Australia, really. So I do ship out, but postage is expensive. My games are small, single use, kind of like on a night out or at a friend's house kind of thing. So it is quite expensive for the shipping. I mean, we do ship out. I had two parcels heading off to America today. Okay. But I mean, I think a few people on a few of my seller friends are kind of like, they tend to check what the postal service is looking like in that country. So a few people have been a bit wary of posting to Italy recently for obvious reasons, because obviously their infrastructure is just in such trouble because of the coronavirus. So, you might want to sit there and go in and, you can still ship internationally and then maybe take a few countries off that for the time being you wouldn't want to ship to. You might say, actually, I'm just not going to ship there, but you can still ship internationally. There's a whole world out there. And I mean, I heard on the news, I think it's 25% of the world's population is on lockdown. Wow. That is a big captive market.
But that's a great reminder too, because right in site preferences, and I'm sure it's the same way for you. If there's a country that you are uncomfortable shipping to, whatever country that is, you can just check it off and then it's blocked. And then perhaps like with Italy, with everything that's going on now, and then perhaps in a couple months you would opt that country back in. Just for the UK sellers to know, here in the United States, the mail's been fine. Hannah and I were actually chatting about it. I'm finding right now it's about a day or two slower than normal, with considering with, and I'm in New York City and we're being called the epicenter of COVID. That I'm noticing.
Kathy, stay safe. Stay safe. Don't make me worry.
And I don't mean to belittle it. I have a healthy immune system. I'm social distancing. I'm washing my hands. I'm extremely careful. But what I'm noticing is, and I was talking to some postal people today when I was dropping my mail off at the 6 foot distance. It's about a day or two, and I was checking UPS and FedEx. It's about a day or two slow, which for us, Hannah, it's very much like holiday mail. This is the kind of, actually the holidays are slower, but this is the kind of slowdown we typically get at the holidays. So just to let the UK sellers know, the mail is up, and UPS and FedEx so far, same thing, about a day or two slower than normal.
I mean, if anything, Royal Mail here is under increased pressure because Amazon warehouses have stopped accepting incoming stuff. So an awful lot of sellers who would use Fulfilled by Amazon are all using Fulfillment by Merchant, which means it's all going through everything's going through, Royal Mail or the courier system or whatever. So, I mean, someone I know that works in Royal Mail was saying that it's like Christmas. That is how busy it is. And obviously, they're all going down with this virus, so there's more pressure on the system and fewer people to do it. So, I think deep breath, and I think actually, if your stuff, I mean, this is a good chance to talk about customer service, I suppose. If your stuff does get delayed, be really honest with buyers and just be like, I'm really sorry, and empathize with people when they want something that's disappointing. Be like, oh, I'm really sorry to hear that. I'd be really frustrated. This is the situation. Can you manage to give it another couple of days? And you know what? Most of my buyers are going, yeah, sure, totally understand it. People are people, and most people are nice.
I love that. We're going to end with that, which is people are people. Most people are nice. It reminds me, Hannah's like perfect segue. Pierre Omidyar, the founder of eBay, and I believe he said it's one of his founding principles and things that's quoted often about eBay, that people are basically good.
Yeah.
So, great thing to end on. Hannah, this is such a treat. Wait, I keep saying, especially because they stopped eBay open this year, which is sort of, be interesting. Is one of these days we will get eBay to fly you to the United States, or we will get eBay to fly me to UK, or to heck with it, we'll fly each other.
Yes.
But
let's meet somewhere in the middle.
For people that don't know, because Hannah is very active with UK groups, you won. What was the award you won in 2017? It was inspiration.
Yeah, so I won the inspiration award. I have it on my desk actually.
Which is very much
I love me wall.
So very active as far as helping other sellers, giving input to eBay. So really, and we'll do this again because it's a great reminder for all of us. We forget, just because we're so busy with our lives and our businesses, that eBay is such a wonderful home to so many sellers and buyers, and we are a global selling community. There are sellers like Hannah all over the world, and that we are all together as sellers dealing with the COVID pandemic right now, and very much backed up and supported by eBay. But I thought, what a treat to have Hannah come in and to give us a viewpoint. Oh, you're welcome, and we will do this again. To give us a viewpoint so that we're not so insulated. Also for the UK sellers, because it's the same thing. It's very much like the circumstances that UK is dealing with, and to know you're not alone. That we're all dealing with a lot of challenges right now, and be supportive of each other and great ideas. I loved your ideas about bundling, just super, and just keep sort of reinventing the keywords right now so that I'm using the kind of terms that a shopper is using now, rather than it was different 6 months ago or a year ago. So thank you so much, Hannah. It was great. As Kathy and Hannah, and we love to be selling. Bye-bye.
We do. Bye.